Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I woke up with a fantastic newsletter in my inbox. It was from Nikon, and guess what? They just released LUTs for N-Log. Now, what kind of LUTs? Well, they're red LUTs. They're giving us the red color science experience in these 4 LUTs for you to use for N-Log footage. And I want to show you some samples of what I shot using these 4 LUTs, as well as my opinions about this news. Let's get to it. Now, before I share with you some sample video footage that I've used using these 4 LUTs that are available for you to download free right now at NikonUSA.com, I want to let you know that this is going to be a monumental shift for Nikon video shooters right now. This is already the first sign of the integration between RED and Nikon camera systems. These are going to give you the RED color science experience in N-Log. Now, who's to say that they won't come out with more? I'm sure this is just a great test for them to see how people adapt these LUTs to N-Log footage. And also, this can also persuade a lot of you out there to shoot more in N-Log and understand the advantages of doing so. It's very much almost like shooting RAW versus JPEG, but you have to understand how to process RAW files in your photos. So the same thing goes with N-Log. You're really gonna have to practice and understand color grading, because it's a very flat picture profile, more than the flat picture profile that's given to you in almost every Nikon camera. Now, not every Z camera can shoot N-Log, so definitely double check, but definitely if you have a Z6 III, Z8, Z9, you're in there for sure. I believe Z6, Z7, stuff like that, but just double check. Now, before I get into sharing some of the sample footage that I took editing with the RED LUTs for N-Log, I want to show you where and how to download these LUTs for yourself. Head on over to NikonUSA.com. Now enter in all the information after pressing the free download button. Then you just scroll down, click accept, and then USA, and download. It's as easy as that to download these LUTs. Go to your browser and go to where you download any item from the internet, and then double click on the DMG file. Once it's open, you can double click again and see the 4 .cube files, which are the RED LUT for N-Log files. Okay, so now I'm inside of Adobe Premiere, and I'm going to show you how to retrieve the LUTs you just downloaded and apply them to the footage you plan to work with. So this is obviously going to be step-by-step in Adobe Premiere, but it will be very similar to Resolve or Final Cut or any other editing software that handles LUTs, etc. All right, first thing you want to do is choose the footage you want. Let me look for the one that I liked. So here's the footage I like. I'm going to drag and drop it. Now, once you do that, then you want to create an adjustment layer. You go down here where it said this little icon called New Item, and then click on Adjustment Layer. I already created it right here, so all I'm going to do is drag and drop and put it right on top of the N-Log footage. Now, make sure I set frame size. That's what I do. Okay, there we go. So it snaps to 4K. This is a 1080 timeline. So now I have the layer that I want to apply the LUT to. I always create 2 so that when so when I start color grading, I always separate the sections that I'm going to do, or if there's something specific, like one will be just for LUT, one adjustment layer will be for basic correction, another layer may be for skin tone. That's all up to you, how you wish to do your editing. But all my editing is going to be done on these adjustment layers, and I try to stay away from here because this would be a destructive editing. If you do it here, it's non-destructive, because as soon as you don't have to apply it, you can just totally turn it off and on, okay, and your footage will remain the same. So let's just rename these real quick. I'm going to go right here, press rename. I'm going to go RED LUT. And the next one I'm going to call basic correction. Okay, it'll make sense later. Basic correction. Boom. Now I have my 2 layers and my original file that I want to apply the LUT to. Now I'm going to head on over here and go to color. Now I'm in the color module. Here's all the tools you can use to color grade your footage. I'm going to make sure I'm clicked on the LUT layer, or the layer I'm going to apply the LUT. I'm going to skip basic correction, even though it says LUTs right here. And I'm going to go to creative. Go to creative, go to browse on your hard drive, and look for where you could find your LUTs that you just downloaded. They're .cube files, .cube files. So let's check out the first one. Is the achromic. Bam, there you go. Now you literally rinse and repeat the process and check them all out for yourself. Here's film bias. I really like that. Really nice. Need to lower the exposure a bit, but otherwise I don't see any huge issues with the highlights. Next one is film bias bleach bypass. Let's see that one. Bam. This one you can see it really pushes the highlights and really crushes the shadows and a lot of deep contrast for sure. And then the next one, the fourth one, is film bias offset. Open up and boom. I really like this. This is very much like a beachy vibe. So I'm digging this a lot. Again, the exposure is, I can see it's a little bit up, and that's my fault. That's how I shot it. Okay. So as I said earlier, I used the Nikon Z8 with the Z24-70 shooting, I believe it was f5.6, using ProRes RAW, 12-bit N-Log. So now that's a very easy way for you to just apply your LUTs on a Premiere timeline for you to start editing and seeing how you like the footage. Okay, this step-by-step process can be used for any LUTs that you want to apply to your footage, but in this case we're talking about the red LUTs. Now to adjust, this is very easy. First and foremost is that right here in the creative section, you have the intensity. You could first adjust how much of that LUT is applied. So you go right back down to 0, and that's the original N-Log footage. And then if you go back to 100, there you go, it's applied at 100%. So I'm gonna go down a little bit, probably, let's just say around 60 here. Then I could tell my highlights are a little bit much. So I'm gonna click on basic correction layer. And then I'm going to close that and go to basic correction section. And this is where I'm going to really do my work here. I'm going to lower that a little bit more. There we go. Pump up the contrast a little bit there. Yeah, there we go. Now it's starting to look good. Let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. Shadows, recover that. And so you could already see the difference right there. Let's go a little bit. There we go. Cool it down a bit. Okay, I'm digging that. Yeah, there we go. A lot cooler, looks good. Okay, but you can see the LUT applied. Look at the LUT. That's how much of the LUT is still applied, even though I adjusted the temperature and everything else. Here we go. Yeah, go a little bit harder on the blacks. There we go. That looks real good. And this is all basic correction. And then in creative, you can go to the adjustments and maybe add a little bit of saturation or desatch. It's all up to you, you know, a little bit of vibrance. Why not? Never hurt anybody. And then where's the sharpening? I always add like 10 on the sharpening or something. Cool. So there you go. Real quick, just to show you how to apply those red LUTs and to edit this in your timeline in Adobe Premiere. So let's just take a look. This is with the basic correction. This is without it, just the red LUT. Okay. And then, which is the, again, this LUT we're using is film bias offset. And then without the LUT. So you can see clearly a huge difference, even with just the LUT by itself, if you don't want to really get into color grading. But I always recommend going a little bit harder, because look how much more I can push these colors. Okay, this is what you could do now that you're combining the Red LUT with Nikon's N-Log. Expand the window and press play. So there you go. There you have it. It looks really, really nice. Again, coming out of the Nikon Z8. And just FYI, I actually recorded this entire video using N-Log and applying one of those Red LUTs to this video. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. What do you think about Red releasing these LUTs for us to play with and try out and to apply to all of our N-Log footage? Do you like this move by Nikon? What do you think is in store? I could tell you right now, this really means a lot, not just to me, but to all of us. It's letting us all know how much Nikon is dedicated and investing in video. Together with the price drop of the Komodo X from the Red camera system, I'm telling you, this is a shot across the bow to not only its competitors, but also for all of us out there who seems to not really get it, that where the future is heading. The future, the R&D, the technology, it's all in video. And I'm telling you, the glass that's going to be coming out is going to be very much tailored to not only photography, but for video content creators in mind. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, don't forget to press that like, that share, that subscribe, and you already know. Smash that bell icon to get notifications for my upcoming content. I'm Robert Silver, and until next time, keep shooting and stay creative.